And we're back for round 3. We win the roll. Let's see what this hand looks like. 1 second, gonna greet my opponent. Alright, so we've got the Silica Guards on this hand. Any black lets us get to Alm's Beast and Execution Swing. Well, I would not keep a all-white hand before. Now we can actually play some things. Okay, gonna go ahead and start getting the lands online. My opponent chatted to tell me that he has a buddy over, so he won't chat much. But he's friendly, so that's good. It's just very nice to have opponents who are friendly as opposed to jerks. Alright, I really hope my opponent... Oh, there we go. I really hope my opponent is Dimir because I don't get to see Dimir very often, and I think it's one of the cooler combinations. It's just the least powerful. Alright, so it looks like Dimir. Which means that he may have particularly powerful stuff, because everybody always passes it. Additionally, it generally takes a lot for players to start playing Dimir, so he may have some awesome bomb or something that would convince him. I personally really like the 2/3 white, the 2/3 Spectre. Maybe he has that. Alright. I think I'd rather play an Alm's Beast than Death Cult Rogue plus Extort, so I'll go ahead and get that online. One thing I've noticed from listening to other people's recordings is everybody seems to catch on to some words that they're saying much more often than normally would. This round, mine seems to be get online. I'm getting my Alms Beast online, and I was getting my lands online. Okay. I'm going to attack with my Alms Beast. If he blocks with Corpse Blockade and then sacrifices Sage's Rare Denizen, I will Grizzly Spectacle to kill the Corpse Blockade, so it's a 2-for-1. Alternatively, Shielded Passage is a much better option. So, I like that. My opponent opts not to block. That is great. Just keep them coming. I will go ahead and extort. That lets me keep up Shielded Passage. Probably won't need it for anything, but it's good to have. It would give me the option of double blocking without either of my creatures dying. The fact that my opponent did not block the Alms Beast makes me feel very good because now I've got a 2/2 that will be very hard to block. Right, he might be the full-on mill deck. That would be interesting. He or she, of course. Again, same plan. Attacking with Alms Beast, and I can Shielded Passage if my opponent goes crazy. Alright. Yeah, so my opponent may be just trying to mill me with Sage of Row and such. That would explain all of the blockers he's got. I'll keep this hand just because all of these are very, very good spells to have. It's not looking like I'm on too fast of a mill clock, so I may not have to worry about it. I can at least answer his first 3 creatures he's got fairly reasonably. Alright, so will my opponent sacrifice? Okay, so Shielded Passage was a 2-for-1 for us. Prevented Death Touch and Lifelink. That was nice. Yep. I always forget that Orzhov Charm can remove or return 1-drops. Not that that really matters right now. Someday it would be cute to see a deck that plays both Vexing Devil and Orzhov Charm to try and get Vexing Devil back, but again, not actually a good thing. Okay, my opponent does seem to be a dedicated mill deck. That's awfully interesting. At the end of turn, it might be worth using Orzhov Charm or Grisly Spectacle to kill Sage's Rogue Denizen, just so that he will not get the option to block Alms Beast. Also, that would let me, if I did it with Orzhov Charm, I get to extort. Okay, since I was talking about doing it at the end of turn, I'll go ahead and do it now. To prevent Paranoid Delusions from going off. I could wait and use Executioner Swing, which I will not get to this way, but this way I get to extort. So, I like that. And my opponent's down to 1 card in hand. I've got 22 cards left in my deck. I think this game is pretty well mine. Alright, I've got 8 damage here. I can Executioner Swing my own Rogue. Oh no, I don't have an Extort anymore. That would have been a silly decision. That said, any Extort creature just wins the game, more or less. Okay, so we've still got plenty of lands left on our deck. X is 5. My opponent's being a good sport and having fun. Okay, so obviously we win the game here. My opponent gets to see my deck. As he just commented, he demanded me show him his deck. Or show him my deck. So that's cool. Alright, so Mind Grind is a thing to keep an eye out for. One thing that is good against Mind Grind is actually discard. Midnight Recovery is not bad there. Undercity Plague is similar, but it costs more. So I like having that. Wait, that Midnight Recovery is not discard. Purge the Profane is discard, like I was saying. Alright. That makes sense, though. Shielded Passage was so good I almost won another one. Alright, these are some good spells. They're not super fast, but neither is my opponent's deck. Okay, we really have enough lands now, thank you very much. Oh, that's a good one. Gotta love it when your deck starts to give you what you want. Okay, will my opponent play? No turn 3 play. That's nice. Kingpin's Pet into Alms Beast into Guardian of the Gateless is a really good sequence of plays. Okay, he counters the Kingpin's Pet. That is the least scary of the 3 of them. That is fine. Should not have surprised me at all. I should have seen it coming. If my opponent plays another creature, I may hold off on attacking with the Alms Beast. Although it's still a 2-for-1, so it might be worth it. Alright, so we can go ahead and get the Guardian online here. Is it worth trading my creature for his 2? If I do that, I don't actually get any additional value out of it, so I'll probably hold on to my creature and hope to use removal. Guardian of the Gateless is good, and he cannot counter it now. Purge the Profane, I'd like to hit him as soon as he gets down to 2 cards in hand. Hopefully that will happen, so I'll get a 2 for 1. Kingpin's Pet into Basilica Guards would also be good, though. Or vice versa, of course. If I played both of them, I would play the Basilica Guards first, just in case he has another Psychic Strike. It's good to keep in mind that Psychic Strike mills, so I know that my Orzhov Charm is not going to be drawn. Alright, I will go ahead and just play my creatures out. I want to get more damage going as fast as I can. It would be good to make him discard, but I'd really rather get his last card, which is could easily be his Mind Grind. It looks like his deck is going to have a hard time beating me without a Mind Grind or some kind of bomb, which... Alright, Gutter Skulk. Despite my love of it, I'm not too afraid of it. Okay. Gift of Orzhov is a pain. I can block it with my Guardian if I need to, but I would rather not. Let's get his last card. Okay, good luck. So I think I have to hold on this way. We're both sitting at full life, which is better for the Miltech than it is for mine because he has more to go to. That said, a removable spell for his Corpse Blockade would go a very, very long way. Or a removal spell for Sage's Road Denizen, for example. Okay, sadly, Executioner's Swing is not too good against Corpse Blockade, because it will probably kill, or anything that I would attack it with would kill it anyway. However, Sage's Road Denizen is. Okay, so I get new cards. Oops. Okay, at least I've got my Shielded Passage trick up. He'll probably put it on the, This Hydra will help against... Alright, wow. My opponent is really going for it. This will probably kill my Guardian? Yeah. This is scary. Not much I can do. Obviously my opponent will mill me. Will my opponent Whispering Madness? Probably, just because he's so dedicated on mill. Yeah. That's unfortunate because I really would have liked to have a Shield Passage. My removal is very good against all of these things that my opponent is playing. I just haven't been drawing it, or have already played it, or have it built. I think killing Glare is still in my deck. That would be a very good draw. I kept the swamp in my hand, so I got to draw a card to hope that I could draw into something like killing Glare. But my opponent is not letting me. Yep, that white is terrifying. Alright, and there's no way that I can do this. So I will concede. Okay. Last game of the finals. Splash for Totally Lost would be good against this. Scatter Arc would actually be good. Is it worth it here? And for like Zorichi Tigers? If I did that, how'd my lands look? Maybe play 3 islands? If I did, I could do Dimir Charm in for... not Metropolis Point. Oh. What did I take out? Oh, I took out a Gunner's Card. Oh, no, I didn't put in Scatter Arc. That was the other. I confused myself for a second there. Dutiful Thrall doesn't do much here, because my opponent's threats, the worst ones are flung. This is not as good a hand as my last one was, but it is okay. Ooh, my opponent mulliganed to 6. Alright, I'll go ahead and start playing. My opponent did not know that I could see him thank me for the good game and complimenting his deck while he was deck building, so he said it again. So I was explaining to him, it's okay, I can see it then. It does say it with different text colors, so it's confusing. I would love to get a island in play soon. Duskmantle Guild Mage is super good in his deck. I would strongly consider trading. No, I can do... I think I'm okay. I think the race is probably better for me. 2 damage for 3. While my opponent is not at 2, my opponent did mulligan, so discard is better. Plus, I would much rather play other things when I draw land on Guardian. Wow, 2 Mortis Striders. Thankfully, they are not reassembling skeletons. They have to die to be able to come back, so they will not. My opponent probably discarded them because he realized that most of my creatures that will be attacking have evasion or are terrifying. I guess they block my 6/6 pretty well. Almost beast. Alright. Clearly this is not going to be a straightforward game. Okay. Guardian lets me block, so I'll go ahead and attack here. I'll go ahead and extort here. I could keep up Shielded Passage, but I don't think it's going to make the difference. My opponent is less likely to have pump spells in his deck than just straight up removal. I need to keep the Guardian back until I can deal with his Guild Mage. Okay, so my opponent's just on the mill me plan. That is not the worst. Orzhov Charm is a sad thing to see go, though. I'll go ahead and attack with the Enforcer, because it would trade unless something weird happens. But if something weird happens, I have Shielded Passage up. I will play Death Cult Rogue with, do I want to keep Shielded Passage up? No, I think I'd rather double extort. Really, I need to swing for the fences and just go for it. My opponent has, it's going to use mana for this. Okay. Grizzly Spectacle. I'm running out of removal here. If I draw Executioner Swing, I can combine that and Shielded Passage to kill it, which is a 2 for 2, and not ideal, but, you know, could easily be the best I've got. Okay, my opponent's still just keeping the mill up. I've got 3 islands, I haven't seen any yet. Alright. The creatures are tapped. My opponent will get in with his Guild Mage once. But I get to extort. I get my 6/6, which he has no real good answer to. Obviously, Island would be good here. I'm not positive Islands were worth putting in. Though if I draw one, I will have a hard time. I will have a much easier time winning the game. Scatter Arc will get rid of most of the scary things I've got, or I'm worried about, as will Dimir Charm. Okay, if I attack all out, 2, 5, 8, 10. Okay. Alright, so my opponent does have additional things. Alright, that said, I can get in with my flying this turn, so Kingpin's Pet is coming. Does Enforcer? I think it does. I think I'm willing to trade it for the white or for the Denizen, or to Shielded Passage it. I just want to get as many things headed towards my opponent as I can. Okay, so my opponent gains 1 life and loses more. Again, I've got enough extort. I want to keep additional mana open. I can block all of my opponent's creatures and Shielded Passage, unless my opponent has removal. Okay, no removal, though this is a pretty good mill engine. Something to be aware of. Alright. Sad to see a Guardian of the Gate, let's go, but I'm glad that 1 card in 6 is basically an island. Okay, that's a problem. Okay. Having 2 Kingpin's pets helps a lot. Since it means that I can double block and I even have Shielded Passage up. Again, I just want to be as aggressive as I can, but I need to keep Syndicate Enforcer back because of white. White would just eat it. If my opponent attacks with white and Guild Mage, I'll probably triple block and Shielded Passage whatever he puts first in order. That would make it eat 2 damage and survive. Okay. 1 card in 5 is an island. I need to I'm in a very tight spot. Okay. Paranoid Delusion. So I really need to kill the white. What if I don't? What if I focus up on the Guild Mage and attack? I'll have 6 unblockable. That's good. Unless he keeps the Guild Mage back. Let's see. Alright. So, okay, it is just that. I'm afraid of the milling at this point, so I think I will go ahead and triple block and save a pet. My opponent has no cards in hand, so there is no trick here. The Guild Mage could have used his first ability if he got to mill. Probably should have used it earlier, since he did mill. Make sure I did not skip my turn, just so I have shielded passage up. Okay, there's not gonna be any mill, so that's cool. Kingpin's Pet is first. Which one? How do I tell which one? How do I tell which one's blocked first? I forget. I'm betting it's that one. Alright, he's a 6/6. It's enough to kill all of them anyway, of course. So it does not matter. So I will save one, and the others will die. Unfortunately, this was a 3-for-1. Or 2 if you count Paranoid Delusions. Oh, right. It's not just for mill things. Okay, so I've got Executioner Swing to kill if I need to. That is good. I could have attacked, but my opponent may not have blocked just to expecting a trick. Also, I'm not sure I'm willing to give up the Kingpin's Pet. That is a Thrall. Thralls are weird looking, and now one can fly. Most Thralls have a clause that lets you sacrifice them to do something. This one does not. That is interesting. Okay, I will just take it. Sadly, I'm down to 1 Exor, which is much more of an offensive ability right now. But alright, so now we've got a lot of damage finally. Our opponent has to have Mind Grind. If Mind Grind, how many? I've got 3, 6, 9. Oh, our opponent's conceding. Okay, so we have won this draft. Our decks have not done too great until now, but it was good to finally get there. Plus, we got a Godless Shrine out of it. That's always nice. Alright, thanks, and I'll see you next time.